Yo, what's going on, guys? Back with the recaps. Sorry for no recap. Yesterday, there's price action was just terrible. I didn't even really go over anything. Didn't take anything. Wasn't really looking at taking anything either. So let's get into price action today and the trade I ended up taking today. I made $0 today. I ended up closing my trade manually, actually, for a valid reason in my eyes. This was super logical to do it. I just felt the trade was no longer there. But we're going to be going over what I took, what I felt coming into the market today, what I was looking at, and my overall bias for the day. So yeah, let's get into it. Cool. So if you want to start on the daily time frame here, because I like to start on the daily just to have a look at what we're doing. Cool. Now the thing is, my bias was heavily fueled by ES today, more or less than NASDAQ, right? So looking at NASDAQ, we came into this daily, we did inverse it, but this kind of price action range right here on NASDAQ is just pretty shitty. We tapped into this bearish key level, so this daily for value gap, and then we kind of came lower and inverse this daily. But if we go to the 4 hour, like overall, we're just looking super bullish. Why? Reason being is, hold on, I'll go back and replay in a minute here. Overall is, even though we did inverse this, like we've been throughout this week, we've just been moving higher. We displaced through this 4 hour. Like if we are really going to be bearish on the higher time frame, should we really be messing around in a 4 hour like this? I don't think so. Like, not really. Like, this 4 hour literally hold zero power in my eyes, and it's very redundant against a higher time frame in this sense because of how bullish we are looking. So just to like kind of back it up there, because it doesn't look as good, we'll go to the S&P 500 and I'll go over the S&P 500. So if we go to the daily time frame on the S&P 500, ES came into this daily and fill for value gap, into this new week opening gap, is at all-time highs, and made a move higher, and also inversed this bearish daily, right? So inverse this bearish daily for value gap, clearly bullish market structure, clearly trending higher. Overall, the S&P 500, like if you want to go to the 4 hour here, we inverse all these 4 hour, we inverse this 4 hour PD ray, this one, we've inversed all these 4 hour PD rays to the left of us, and we're now respecting bearish, disrespecting bullish, delivering from sell side. And we're also in like a clear market maker buy model right here as well, as we can see. Very clear market maker buy model on the higher time frame, where we are disrespecting bearish gaps as well, delivering from sell side and respecting bullish gaps. Pretty simple bullish like narrative on the higher time frame here. So let's go back into the NASDAQ and let's see what overnight sessions did. Cool. So coming into today, we had Asia kind of accumulated here in this like range right here. We had like accumulation during Asia, bit of a move lower, not really anything significant in my eyes. And then London came in and we ended up manipulating into this unfilled hourly fair value gap during the London session. And then we ended up making a move higher off of that, ever so slightly. Yeah, ever so slightly. London session didn't really do that much. Cool. So at this point here right now, again, with the higher time frame in my eyes being clearly bullish, us delivering from sell side as well and respecting bearish, respecting bullish, disrespecting bearish. What I was looking for on market open was pretty simple. We had Asia sort of made a move lower, and then London kind of manipulated on the higher time frame, and then we're going to distribute here. So New York was going to be the distribution session in my eyes, okay? And it was. So coming into the day, we had this 15-minute for value gap here, which we had a tap on. So we did tap this 15-minute. It was unfilled at the time, obviously. We tapped this bullish 15-minute, and then we sort of made a little move higher here. Nothing really too significant. We took out London highs with it. So then when we came to the 5-minute time frame here, we'll look at, this is all before market open as well. Sorry, let me do the replay. I forgot. Cool. So this was 5 minutes before market open. Basically what I was looking at here was pretty simple. We had an SMT divergence as well at London low. So we had an SMT inside of a higher time frame key level right here as well. So I didn't really expect us to come back down here. If we did come back down here, I still would have been inclined to potentially take some longs, but this was sort of meant like this wasn't really, I really wasn't expecting price to come down here for the manipulation move to then move higher. What I was primarily looking at coming into market open was I wanted to see true manipulation from both pairs into a higher time frame key level and sweep out some sort of liquidity pool and then make a move higher. And for me, that's like an A-flow setup. So what I was looking for on market open was for us to run all this low resistance liquidity that we have right here, run this this low inside of this key level, tap this, and then show signs of rejection to make a move higher. Now at this time on the S&P 500, S&P 500 was a good bit higher. Holy chop. Anyway, S&P 500 was a good bit higher here on NASDAQ. They're higher than NASDAQ. It was like up here. yet. So coming into here, what I wanted to see was for ES to manipulate into this unfilled 30-minute. Or was this unfilled? Yeah. I wanted to see ES manipulate into this unfilled 30-minute. It's also an unfilled 15. And sweep out this low resistance liquidity as well in here. And we also had equal lows too. So we had equal lows on the 15-minute time frame right here. This was looking super, super nice. Like in my eyes, this was like looking like this would be like a perfect level to manipulate, perfect area to manipulate right here for us to then end up making a move higher off of, which just seemed perfect. It was looking very, very good. So what market open ended up doing is both pairs ended up being super uncorrelated. So what happened is that ES did exactly what I wanted it to do and come down into this unfilled 15-minute for value gap and inside this 30-minute as well, and then make a move higher. That's what I wanted to see ES do, which as you can see, it did right here on this candle here. This is market opens. This is the 15-minute candle on market open. It's exactly what we did. But then what NASDAQ did was really nothing. Yeah, really, really nothing. My draws for this area was again all this like this liquidity just here. We had a LRL here. We had a bunch of LRL during Asia session. We had Asia session high still above us. We had this high up here too. And then we had our external draws as well. And I was also looking at weekly highs as well as our external draw too. So these are my two main final draws for the day, for these two weekly highs. Cool. Or previous week highs. So coming into what NASDAQ did on market open, we sort of just opened higher here, and then we just started printing higher, right? Cool. So at this point, it kind of sucked. We didn't really have that manipulation that I wanted to see on NASDAQ. We didn't have that true manipulation with both pairs to come out and sweep out this liquidity pool and then make a move higher. So it is what it is. Draws kind of got slammed in this range right here anyway, but I was still bullish. Like at this point, I still wasn't bearish. I was still most definitely bullish for today. Because again, these aren't my draws. These are draws, but these are more like intermediate draws for me. My final external draws were these two weekly highs, because we're just super bullish on the higher time frame in my eyes. Okay, so then coming in here, I think this is what 940. So cool. 945 is going to open up a 15-minute for value gap, just like so. Or no, well, I guess it's 950 that opens it because this is 945. So boom. Boom. Cool. Is this it here? I think so. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, skipped it there. But we opened up this unfilled 15-minute bearish for value gap at 945. Let me go back. I don't need to go back. You guys can clearly see this was an unmitigated 15-minute for value gap that we opened up at 945. Right? And this was looking good. This was looking really nice for continuations. See, there wasn't like the most clear draws ever today, which is why this long was, but it was a good long. Like this long had a very good narrative behind it in my eyes. And the reason why is because we came into this discounted 5-minute for value gap as well. So right here, we rebalanced the range. I'm pretty sure. I didn't even check if we did that, but I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, we rebalanced the range. We tapped into this. We tapped like perfectly again, as you can see. Like I love when we tap C's or fair value gaps like this and have immediate signs of rejection, and also coming into the discounted 5-minute right here. This was looking pretty nice in my eyes, like super, super nice. And the narrative was there as well. And I'll go over why the narrative was there. So, sorry. The narrative was there for sure, because what did we do? If we go to the 1-minute time frame here, what did we do here? So we opened up this 15-minute for value gap at 950, and when this opened up, what were we doing? We were literally just accumulating in this little. Hold on, let me get rid of this now. Oh no, we were just literally accumulating inside of this little range right here. We were just accumulating, nowhere, no clear direction. And what happens as soon, like this is like the kind of stuff that I really love. Like these are great trades in my eyes. Because what does 10 a.m. do? 10 a.m. immediately manipulates down into this unfilled 15, unmitigated 15, unmitigated 5, discounted 5, and then immediately starts to show signs of rejection. So we had accumulation, right? So this is like a 10 a.m. PO3, right? This is perfect in my eyes. Clear 10 a.m. PO3. Opening price was right here. We manipulate below, so we're in a time discount, and we're in a discount in this range of price as well. And we're in an unmitigated 15-minute for value gap, and we also swept out all of this low resistance liquidity right here, and we ran these stops too. Like this was ideal for me, right? I really, really like this trade. The narrative behind it made perfect sense as well. Time discount to with the 10 a.m. opening lower and then making a move higher after that. So 10 a.m. manipulation. At this point now, I was just willing to take any inversion to the upside here. At the highest time frame, inversion within this leg of price. That's what I was looking for. So we had a 2 minute, we had a 3 minute. Did we have a 4 minute? We didn't have a 4 minute. So what I wanted to see was for price to displace through this 3 minute for value gap right here, and then I would have taken that trade. Break even right here at this internal high, and then take profit at a 1-to-1. I don't even think this weekly high was a 1-to-1 due to the close, which was unfortunate. So I was just going to hold for a 1-to-1. And I think we tap it here. Yeah, so again, this is also something I really like as well. That I'm starting to drill in and just starting to recognize that happens a lot, like when it comes to inversions. So we will end up like coming into the fair value gap at first, right? Because for me, like my rule of thumb is usually like 4 candles. So if it takes more than 4 candles to inverse the gap, that would make me hesitate on the trade. Unless we got like really clean displacement out of it, that would kind of make me hesitate. Like I want to see an inversion happen and for us to just absolutely shit on this fair value gap, this bearish one, to like prove that we are now going to be bullish. Order flow has been flipped to bullish. All right. So again, with this in mind, we come in and we tap this 3 minute, but like what do we do when we tap it? We do nothing. Like we don't move lower. We have no signs of saying that, okay, this 3 minute, we're going to tap this 3 minute and then move lower. There was 0 signs of that because the next candle, immediate displacement, like fully through it, right through it. Okay. So at this point, like this was perfect. Like this is exactly what we want to see. I actually almost prefer sometimes when we respect the fair value gap once and then on the next candle, we just shit on it and show like no signs of respecting it to move lower. Because right, like if we respect the fair value gap, like what do you expect us to do? Move lower. But what do we do after respecting this? We just shit on it again and we just displace right through it. No, we didn't move a singular bit lower. So I was like, yeah, cool. This is really good displacement right through it. This is a lovely trade. I will be taking this trade. And again, the RR on this was scuffed, which was also not a great thing. Like if you held even at the body of the candle, like it's just, yeah, it's scuffed, right? It's scuffed. So I had my stop loss at the low here because the reason why I didn't have my stop loss at the body, I was going to put it at the body. And again, this trade is beautiful and the narrative is excellent, but the reason why it wasn't like, I would rate this trade A. I wouldn't rate it A plus. The reason why on NASDAQ, this was an A plus trade any day, but the reason why it wasn't fully A plus in my eyes was because of where ES was at during this time. So ES, yeah, as you can see, this is where ES was. So ES was moving lower, NASDAQ was moving higher. ES was just like fucking around. It was being booty. It was just being mid. Like it wasn't doing what I wanted. It wasn't like playing the same as NASDAQ. The pairs were super uncorrelated today. So that's the only reason why this long in my eyes wasn't A plus, and that was just due to the uncorrelation with the S&P 500. Right. If these pairs were like both correlated here, like this trade would slap so hard. But the reason why I didn't put my stop loss at the body here and instead at the wick was because I wanted to give this trade breathing room. I know it sounds silly, but the only reason I wanted to give this trade breathing room was because of where ES was at. I think ES ended up sweeping out those lows inside that 50-minute for value gap again. Where was this? Yeah, it ended up sweeping out these lows. I think this was a 30-minute. Was this a 30-minute? This could have been a 30-minute. Yeah, it ended up sweeping out these lows inside of this 30-minute for value gap right here. So like at this point, it was just way lower down than NASDAQ. And the thing is as well, is that it opened up a bearish 5-minute. So we opened up a bearish 5-minute on ES. I think it was like here. Where did I enter my trade? It was like almost just as I was entering my trade, we just opened up a bearish 5-minute on ES. So I wanted to give this trade like room to breathe here. Or was it this one? Hold on. This was 10:09. Yeah, no, sorry. It wasn't. It was this one right here. It was this bearish 5-minute that we opened up on ES. So I wanted to give this trade room to breathe here. Because having it at the body in this case, I feel you're just like, you could get stop wanted. It's just a bit... So I didn't have it at the body. I was targeting a 1-to-1 with this trade. My stop loss was 48 points. So I was just targeting a 1-to-1. It was like here. This is where my take profit was. Cool. So again, bang, enter the trade here. And then we ended up, if you go to the 1 minute here to have a look at what we were doing. And we ended up just actually, yeah, this trade was looking good until it wasn't. Like we came down here. Yeah, got pretty close to my stop loss. And we ended up inversing this 2-minute for value gap and this 3-minute for value gap. So like if you did have your stop at the body here, that would make perfect sense. But I just wanted to give this trade more room to breathe. ES re-swept the lows here. So we had an internal SMT right here. And I don't think, I'm not saying this internal SMT saved the trade. I think that's stupid. This trade was good. Like this had a narrative behind it for sure. And this was low key trade of the day, to be honest, in my opinion. Well, for the model I trade anyway, this was trade of the day. There was one other long actually. Was it this one? I think it was later on during the session. There was another like pretty nice long, which I'll go over as well, which is also a super clean inversion. Then we just ended up coming up here, and now this is where I ended up closing my position, right? I think I ended up closing my position when I was like 50 points in profit, or not 50 points, hold on, like $50 in profit. And it wasn't due to any emotional reasoning or anything like that. It was just logic that I was using here. But the reason why I did was because ES did, as you can see here, NASDAQ started printing lower. So did ES, and ES opened up this bearish 5-minute right here, and this was unfilled at the time. So what I wanted to see during this time was for ES to just sprint right through this fair value gap and just completely disrespect it. This was like 10.25, yeah, exactly, like bro, exactly right here, 10.25. This is when I ended up closing my trade. Reason being is because ES respected this 5-minute, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the way we were like chopping down here, and I did not like the way that ES respected that 5-minute fair value gap that it created. It just looked like it was about to make a move lower, and in my eyes, it would make sense for it to do so. Well, not really make sense, but it was just like this trade in my idea. The idea of this trade, like the logic behind it, was kind of going out the window, and my discretion, my conviction on it was getting worse due to what ES was doing and how it came into this 5-minute right here and then showed like signs of rejection. I wasn't liking that too much, and I didn't inverse it. So I ended up closing this trade here at like whatever, maybe, I don't even know, fucking 12 points in profit, whatever. It doesn't even matter. I'm just basically counting it as a break even. It's technically at my break even. So that's why I ended up closing the trade. Now this trade actually did, because immediately after, as you can see, we did displace through that 5-minute, but it was just how ES was like moving the entire session. It's kind of hard for me to explain on just right now, but it's just how ES was moving this entire session. These pairs were so uncorrelated. ES was moving lower, but in my eyes, there is a chance I should maybe have not have, and the only reason was because of how bullish like Nasdaq was. Like Nasdaq really wanted to move higher, right? And then we ended up displacing higher here, and then it hit my break even point, so I would have been break even here. And then I think out of nowhere, I don't know what happened, but there was a big dump. Yeah, bang, woof, a ripper to the downside. And I think this was something got to do with a tweet. Something got to do with Trump anyway. A tweet with Trump. I'm not too sure, or it could have been. I think it was something got to do with tweets anyway. I know, which causes this to dump down here, which is whatever happens is what it is. And then there was another long. So yeah, this is a break even trade. I would have been so mad if I didn't close my position here, even though I did. I would have been so mad if this fucking went all the way up here and like edged my TP and then just completely ripped through my break even. Like you would have gotten slippage on this as well, which is even worse. So yeah, that's basically the trade I took, why I took it, the narrative behind it, and the reason why I closed was due to how bad ES was looking. ES just was not looking good at all. It was looking shocking. While NQ was looking sensational to move higher, ES wasn't. So cool. And then after this, yeah, we had like a run. We had like a stop hunt, basically, like a run on all this liquidity right here, all this LR as well that we generated. Oh yeah, sorry, that was another reason why I ended up closing, because I just wasn't a fan of how we made LR here as well. I didn't like this. I felt like that was just going to get slammed. And we ended up coming down at 10:38. We ended up coming down and sweeping out these lows again. And then we had like a 4-minute, I think it was a 4-minute inversion, or maybe, I don't know. What was this? 10:45. I think it was this long right here. I think this could have been a 4-minute. Maybe a 3-minute. Yeah, this 3-minute inversion right here. This 3-minute inversion right here was really solid because we ran all these stops. We cleared out this LRL, reswept alongside of a fair value gap. And another reason why this trade was good in my eyes, this arguably was a better trade than the first one, to be honest. But it was just super late on in the session as well. Like you're kind of pushing your luck with this one. It's 10:45, as you can see. Like you could have easily targeted this right here, and then you could have targeted just the final draw for the day, which is previous week high. Super nice displacement as well, right through that 3-minute fair value gap. And at this point as well, this was 10:48. As you can see, at 10:48, ES also reswept right here. I think, yeah, ES reswept as well. So really nice resweep on ES, ran these stops. And then after that, as you can see, ES also started to displace higher. So the correlation was back now when it came to the displacement, and we were both displacing higher. This was a good trade as well. Like, this was really good, but at this point I already taken my trade for the day, and it was 10:45. I wasn't really too interested in the markets anymore after that. It's 10:45 as well. It's just super close to 11 a.m. I don't like taking trades towards 11 a.m. But yeah, if we look at the 1 minute time from here, like, this was very clean displacement right through that. This is like a technically, I think it's just PO3. Maybe not. 10:35, I think it was 10:35. Just yeah, 10:35, 50-minute candle open. Yeah, it's like stacking PO3s technically with this one. Back below opening price of the 10 a.m. as well. Yeah, it's stacking to PO3, so it was a time discount too. And we just displaced right through that 3 minute, and then we made a very, very nice run all the way up. Would have been no break even on this trade, to be honest. Don't see any logical spots to go break even here. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, exactly. Like 11 a.m. kicks in. To be honest, if that was me, I would have ended up closing my trade at 11 a.m. because I just do not like trading at 11 a.m. So I would have closed my trade like right here. Once we poked up here, it would have been like a 1-to-1 or something maybe. No, it wouldn't have even been. But like, that's the thing. That's why I didn't want to take this trade as well. Because like, I'd have to. I hate holding trades past 11 a.m. Because look at what happens when you like past 11 a.m. Like, the draw is right here. 11 a.m. kicks in. Hold on. Like, 11 a.m. is just, no, get me away from that. I hate trading 11 a.m. But yeah, there was no logical break even on this trade, to be honest. So this trade would have played out either way, to be honest. So yeah, I just would have held here, and then I suppose when we went back above these highs, I would have break even. But there's no logical spot to go break even here in my eyes, so there's would have been no break even. And that trade played out really nicely. So today's PA overall, not the greatest. It was decent. It was decent. Don't get me wrong, but it was better than yesterday and the day before anyway. But still not great. Decent PA, mid PA, below mid actually. Below mid. It was pretty ass. The only reason why it was pretty ass was because of how uncorrelated ES and nasdaq were when we came into this zone, this kind of range right here. How uncorrelated the two ended up becoming, but they re-correlated anyway in the end and started having actual displacement towards final draws. So yeah, that's basically it for today's recap. Pretty simple stuff. I don't know. There's people were hating. People were hating on this trade. I don't know why. Like, this 3 minute was fucking so clean. The only reason why it wasn't again was it was clean. The only reason why there was a chance that it could have failed was due to the ES looking bad. Yeah, that's the only reason why I think it was bad. Everything else was there. Oh, I think we might have had an SMT with something, but again, that SMT is against a higher time frame. No concern for it. It was a decent SMT, I think, but again, when it's SMTs against a higher time frame, I just kind of ignore them. Unless they're in like actual prominent key levels, I ignore them. So yeah, that's basically it for today's recap, guys. Break even technically on the trade or whatever, plus $50. Due to me pulling my stop there. Again, it wasn't emotional, trust me. I would admit and take accountability if it was emotional. It was just pure logical thinking. In the moment, I just did not. I really hated the way ES was moving. But the narrative behind the trade was really good. ES was just kind of messing it up for us today. Is what it is. Can't complain about it. Final draws were hit for today, though, so the bullish bias and analysis on that was 100% correct. So that's cool. If you guys have any questions at all, please let me know in the comments below. If you want to DM me personally or ask me any questions personally, please go to my Discord. I'm going to have that in the description too. You can add that. I'll 100% add you back. Boom, yeah, my TikTok as well is going to be in the bio. My Instagram's going to be in the bio as well. If you want to DM me on any of those platforms, feel free. Ask any questions. I will 100% answer any questions when it comes to trading related things, and also take advice. If any of you guys have any advice for me in the comments, or tell me how you traded today, tell me how you felt on the setup I took or whatever setup you may have taken. If you trade similarly to me, and yeah, that's going to be it for today's recap, guys. I hope you have a good one. Good rest of your day, and I will be uploading a trade recap tomorrow, which is going to be Thursday. I think, do we have news tomorrow? I think we do. We do, yeah. We've 130 news, we've unemployment claims, so that might leave a decent data high, data low, juicy target for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Catch you in the next trade recap that I upload. I know it's a bit of a long one today. I just wanted to go over price properly and dissect it. So, um, getting more into detail with how I'm actually thinking when I'm looking at trades and the narrative behind the trade I take. So, yeah, that's gonna be it for today's recap. See you guys in the next one. Peace.